Hey everybody, KC here. So I want to tell you a quick story. So Mrs. Content Guy, the other day, we have a vacuum cleaner, a Mealy vacuum cleaner that needed some repairs. And we know that there's this storefront not too far from the house where they, big sign that says Mealy and then it says, vacuum cleaners repaired. So she brought it in. And she now I wasn't there, so I'm only getting her side of the story. But it's Mrs. Content Guy, so I totally trust her. And she said the guy got a little cranky with her because he said, he goes, where'd you buy this? And she said, I'm sorry, where'd you buy this? And she said, well, I think I bought it on Amazon. He goes, great. That's what everybody says. Everybody says they buy their machines on Amazon, then they want me to fix them. He goes, how am I supposed to stay in business? I sell vacuum cleaners, but nobody buys any vacuum cleaners from me anymore. All they want me to do is repair them. He says, I don't know how I'm going to stay in business this way. Rents are high, expenses are high. I don't know how people expect me to stay in business. And she looked at me and she said, well, first of all, I didn't even know you sold vacuum cleaners, which by the way is a completely legitimate reaction. His window's a mess, and at no point in the window does it say he sells vacuum cleaners. And they ended up having a long conversation, and he took the vacuum cleaner in to fix it. She's number 10 on the list. He gives priority to people who actually bought vacuum cleaners from him. So apparently there are at least a few people who buy vacuum cleaners because they are on the priority list. But the point he was making was, and it's in some ways a completely legitimate point, right? Which is that, Amazon, people go on Amazon because Amazon's easy. Now he made the point to Mrs. Content Guy that actually his vacuum cleaners are priced the same as Amazon. I'm not entirely sure that's true, but let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Just because of convenience, people go on Amazon, they buy them, and then they come here to get them repaired because, it's not as easy to get Amazon to repair your vacuum cleaner. Totally get it. In some ways, this is not dissimilar, by the way, from the automobile model, right? With car dealerships traditionally haven't made a lot of money on their cars. They make money on the repairs. But the fact of the matter is, he's absolutely right in the sense that people are buying them on Amazon because it's easy. They're getting the repair with him. His revenue is down. It's very hard to stay in business. I get that. Amazon has its growth flywheel. That's almost a flywheel of failure because he keeps going. And Mrs. Content Guy said, well, maybe you ought to communicate with people and tell them that you sell vacuum cleaners and tell them that your prices are the same as on Amazon. He goes, I don't have the money to do that. I can barely pay my rent. I feel bad for the guy. But the fact of the matter is, in the current reality, if you don't tell people what you do and you don't tell people why you're competitive, you're simply not going to be able to compete. That's just simply the way it is. And I think that that's the kind of thing that, independents especially, are going to have to pay attention to. Hey, listen, if Mealy, the manufacturer, wants to sell more vacuum cleaners through this guy and wants to sell fewer of them through Amazon because they want to support his business, maybe they got to figure out a way to help him do some marketing. Listen, it's complicated. It's not easy stuff. It is, as I say, in some ways, the flywheel of failure. If you're an independent who's not willing or able to invest in growing your business and communicating your business's story. I feel bad for the guy. I just hope he doesn't see this video and decides, well, I'm not fixing the vacuum cleaner because I don't know what will. Mrs. Content Guy will be mad at me. Anyway, that's what's on my mind this morning. And as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.